strong, bold leadership that is ready, that is willing, and that is able to fight for our children and our grandchildren. Amen. Stand up and man up.
And I'm here to tell you in no uncertain terms, ladies and gentlemen, that you are making a difference.
Go proactive. We had to do more than just gather and talk.
We will fight with our heart and soul every attempt by them to take away our constitutional rights. And if, God forbid, they succeed, we will not comply with their unconstitutional goals.
Liberals will tell you that they are radical. But that is a joke. We are radical. And if it wasn't for radical men and women, I would not be here today.
More than 20 years ago, I was exiled from communist Romania to America, the greatest country in the world.
If you look, there's a gun control article, and a majority of the page is taken up by an article that 15 people came to Ted Cruz's office to protest the availability of guns. So, with the amount of people here, if we get a proportional amount of news coverage, Ron's going to have to break out the wide-angle lens.
We have the right to keep and bear arms.
And no government can rightfully deny law-abiding citizens the right of self-defense.
Right. Amen.
Those who hold such views must not be trusted with power.
It says that that right shall not be infringed.
Socialism is against guns.
We will fight with our heart and soul every attempt by them to take away our constitutional rights.
The purpose of socialism is to attack our freedom and take our guns.
And if, God forbid, they succeed, we will not comply with their unconstitutional goals.
It is insanity and asinine for an individual to totally believe that criminals care whether or not you banned guns.
The socialist government immediately established gun control in Romania.
We all know this is incrementalism. We all know that if assault weapons are banned, they're functionally the same as every other hunting rifle that they say they don't want to ban. And then once they ban the assault rifles, they'll try to ban the hunting rifles, say there's no difference from the ones we've already banned. And then they'll come after handguns. And they'll say that, well, 10,000 people are killed per year with handguns. Only 300 are killed per year with rifles, so we've got to ban the handguns too. This is incrementalism, and they will not stop until they have full registration and confiscation of all our guns.
Trust no official who would keep you safe, but not allow you to protect yourself.
If you look at the list of the mundane items people have been murdered by, it includes pillows, hot water, hammers, socks. When socks are outlawed, only outlaws will have socks.
As of right now, about 5 or 6 firearms companies are refusing to sell any arms to the states that have gun bans.
We know what their goal is, because every place they've had control, they've tried to impose it. Chicago, D.C. gun bans. In Connecticut, there was a bill proposed this session to out and publicize the names and addresses of all gun owners. There was also a bill to limit magazines to 1 round.
To a Texan, an order to give up guns is a call to arms.
The same thing with the gun issue. They use these fear tactics to drive people, into a frenzy on the left. And if that's the only message that they're getting from the media, that's what they're going to hear.
And now, if you look on actually the Australian government website, you'll find statistics relating to knife crime. That's where they're going next. And that's the goal. The goal is to make us completely defenseless. If you doubt this, look at the law in Massachusetts, where you need a gun permit, not kidding, to carry pepper spray.
Obama said we need a civilian security force as well funded and as well armed as the military. Guess what? That force is us!
It is the federal government's duty to defend us from our enemies abroad. Otherwise, its duty is to leave us alone.
And now I hope that you remember today and know that this day is monumental. That it was the day that Americans in Texas stood up for the Second Amendment. Amen?
And I'm not the kind of person to paint a rosy picture, but I got some good news for you. And you can write this down. Their days are numbered.
We're winning, public opinion's on our side, and we've been patient. We've patiently listened to our elected officials talk about the extent to which they will permit us to exercise our Second Amendment rights that they have no right to take away.
That's right.
And we're not going to be patient anymore. And it's about time we told them they need to back off.
And the reason we're going to win ultimately is because unlike the ideas of those folks that believe in an ever-expanding government, ever top-down, ever-expanding control over your lives, unlike those ideas, our ideas work. The 20th century, if it taught us nothing else, it taught us that freedom works. Every place it's tried.
Secondly, we need to change the culture. How do we do this? Take someone shooting who's never been. Eliminate the mystique. Turn 80 million gun owners into 160 million gun owners, and we win.
The mistake that they made is they didn't take their wives and they didn't invite their daughters when they went shooting, when they went hunting. You may find it embarrassing, gentlemen, but women have very good hand-eye coordination. And if you don't give them a huge magnum and scare them to death, they make excellent pistol shots, which I would warn you, if you take the fooling around, may come back and haunt you.
Guys, if you want to get something started, bring your wives to a gun range. There's a lot of gun ranges in Texas and also in the Dallas area. We're just one of them. Get them into a gun range, because I guarantee you where the women's heart is, their kids are going to follow. You get the kids in there, the entire family is going to change.
Number one, get involved politically.
We have to be big picture thinkers, every single one of us.
You ask what difference we can make? There are 80 million gun owners and 300 million guns. Even if 1 out of every 10 people doesn't comply, that's 30 million firearms in the hands of 8 million people. That's essentially the largest standing army in the world.
We're going to have to play the game just as well as they play the game.
Tonight, figure out a way, before you go lay your head on the pillow, spread the message of freedom.
We are the voice of America. Silence is complicity. Together, we can save America.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers, guns, and money.